Welcome to this priceless gift number 3. I'm Dr. Clint Rogers with Gary Malkin. Gary, I love being with you and sharing these gifts.
It's great to be offering these letters to our friends.
Yeah, and I hope that you've experienced that. I know if you have experienced the first 2 gifts, you're going to be excited for this one. In this letter, this autoresponder letter, I share, this question about if you've ever met anyone that pretty quickly you knew there's something special about your relationship with each other, and that there's some reason why you're meeting, and maybe you even knew each other before in some other form, and there's some reason that you're here now in this life. And I feel that way so much with Gary.
And I feel that with you, Clint, so much.
Yeah. One of the things that touched my heart so much was when he opened up to me about his sister. And when he shared with me not only the story of how much he loved his sister and what happened at her passing, but the music that came through him as a result. And I get emotional even thinking about it, Gary. And I'm so excited you're sharing this. Can you just talk a little bit about this gift and how people will benefit from it?
Well, I also just want to acknowledge that 10 years ago when you and I met, I had that same feeling, Clint. It's just the blessing that you've been in my life has been extraordinary, and I'm so grateful to you for everything. And the fact that we both share the loss of a sister is pretty remarkable. Do you remember who you are as your gift number 3 for this phase, this letter? And it's a demo of a song that came to me when my sister was fighting brain cancer. And I was so in another state of grief and shock and humility and awe. And I just took a walk while my sister was healing in the hospital and said, okay, God, I don't want to write a song. I want it to be given to me. I want you to give me a line to start. And every morning for the 2 weeks she was in the hospital, a new line came to me. And, 3 years after she died, which was 10 years ago, a psychic said to me that this song, every time I sing it, it calls her forth. She loves to hear it. And I've sung it all over the world, even on stage of the Great Hall of China once, just 6,000 Chinese people at a healing festival. So it's a very important song to me. And I just want to invite you to introduce it to your church, your choir, your faith community, and sing it and enjoy it and make the most of it if you can. It would be wonderful.
Yeah, one thing I like is it just brings out the truth of how fragile and temporary this life is. We never know when's our last moment. In fact, Gary, we weren't planning on sharing this, but just this morning I got a call from someone who saw my TEDx talk. They were in the audience, and so many people came up to me afterwards, and she said to me, she said, I really want you to meet my son. He was sitting in the front row and your talk really moved him. And
Wow.
just at the same time, so many people came up to me, and she's thinking, maybe I'm not going to fulfill that request, but I could see him up in the front. He was about 27 years old. I could see, something was happening in his life. Some transition was happening. And she saw me stop all my conversations with everyone else, go up and spend time just with him. And she said the next day, or that night, she said they were eating dinner, and he just remarked what a difference that made. And the next day, I just got the call just today, this morning, but she said that next day he passed away. And she said that she didn't know, and no one knew how close his life was to the end. But she just talked about how much of a difference that made to her and to him. And when they found him several days later, and his body was already decaying in such a situation, in any circumstance. But she talked about how she walked, and he had printed out the picture with me and him, and had the note that I signed. And she said, you don't know, you never know how much of a difference it makes in a moment where you just reach out and you're with someone and present with them. Wow. What I love about this song, Gary, Do You Remember Who You Are, is it helps us remember how precious each moment is and not take it for granted, and to remember who you are, why you're here. So I'm excited, so grateful you created this, so excited for people to experience it. And
I want to say one thing, that for those of you who have a tendency, like many Americans, many people in the world, to think, well, why would you focus on something like this? I want to live and let live, and I don't want to think about such things. That wonderful line in Joni Mitchell's song that goes, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone. So the idea is that we don't really appreciate life as fully as we can. When we recognize its fragility, our lives burst forth with so much gratitude and aliveness. And that's what we're all about, inviting you to really, really experience the power and the preciousness and the aliveness of life itself. So
Yeah.
that's what these gifts are about, taking the minutes to experience a new level of presence, of gratitude, of appreciation. And I hope that you love this gift as well.
Yeah, me too. And in honor of your sister, Gary, of my sister, of this dear friend that I met at TEDx, and
Oh
of
my
all
God,
of
what
our
a
lives,
story.
please take time to not only enjoy this gift, but what it means, and look forward to seeing you on our next video. I'm excited about our next gift too. Namaste.
Take care.